Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Soundcheck. This is Brent.
And this is Walter.
We're doing our next artist profile. We're joined by the trio that is Modern Fuzz, instrumental metal band. And so we're just gonna...
Can you insert clap in post?
Yeah.
Where are the lyrics?
So, do you have a question to start off?
No.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
No, just give me a little background. Just tell me about each other, about y'all. Like, and how
About
y'all...
each other?
Yes.
So this is Eric. My name's Levi. I'm the drummer for Modern Fuzz. And that's what I do for Modern Fuzz.
Name is Eric. I'm the bassist for Modern Fuzz. And yeah, that's also what I do for Modern Fuzz. So, Alex?
Hey, I'm Alex, and I'm the guitarist for Modern Fuzz.
Yeah, no one cares about
And
the
I do that.
guitarist.
Yeah, did not ask.
And that is what I do for Modern Fuzz.
Well, awesome. I'd like to thank y'all for coming, making time to come out here, and having this interview, because we've been wanting to do this for a long time, but as we schedule conflicts and stuff like that, especially we are all super busy.
Oh yeah.
Thank
you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you so much.
You have a very nice setup here. And
Thank you.
They gave us tap water and flat Coke, and we just feel like kings right now.
We do what we can.
Yeah, there's only so much of that BC 1842 can really provide.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The flat Coke was my fault, unfortunately.
It's okay.
I didn't pre-carbonate it. But yeah, just give a little background. Did we ever play a show together? I'm pretty sure we did.
We played one show together.
We played one show together. So
the Undercroft? Was that the one?
it might be the Undercroft,
Yes.
yeah. So
Oh, that was a banger of a show.
that was a fun show, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's how I met y'all.
I liked that venue. Yeah. I remember trying to get to it. I was texting Walter. I was like, "Where is this?" But once I found it, it's cool.
Yeah, it's you have to take a little hike down these stairs and through the church garden or whatever, and it's the basement of a church. The only thing I remember about that show was it was super hot, and they had that big industrial fan blowing. It was the middle of the summer, and it was one of those shows where it was kind of just the bands there watching each other with maybe 4 or 5 other people there.
Mm-hmm.
But all the bands were great. It was Modern Fuzz, Taylor Polynomial,
Science Penguin.
Science Penguin, great
Don't
friends
forget,
of ours.
Great
we had
friends.
Ola Mesa there too.
Ola Mesa, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Ola
Mesa
They're
was
from
awesome.
Ohio. They were awesome.
Yeah.
But
Super
yeah.
good band.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's officially how we all met.
Yes.
And I think I've
that's
seen
right, yeah.
y'all once when you guys were opening up for intervals one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was really rad, actually. I was like, hell yeah, they're doing the thing.
I don't know how we got that show because that was a while ago now, and even if we got that show now, it's holy crap, that feels life changing. But back then it was we had one album and then one new song, and we had probably played shows you could count on one hand.
For
It was
sure.
okay, we're gonna open for intervals now. It's oh okay, little stressful, but okay. No, it was great though, and we just saw intervals this weekend.
Yeah.
That was very
Opening
fun.
for Tesseract. Stay
Yes.
tuned for that concert review. Hey
Ooh.
Hey, content.
Quick plug. Yeah.
But I guess
Bait.
since we've mentioned that, I do need to mention that just about every local show I go to, Walter is always there. I'll be sitting in the front. I'll be like, man, I'm enjoying myself. These bands are great, blah, blah, blah. Where's Walter at? 99% of the time I turn around and Walter's like, okay, Walter's here. Okay, good.
It's like that Always Sunny
Yeah.
meme when Mac and Charlie see each other in the restaurant and they're like,
Right. That's exactly what it is.
just every show.
But now I'm not even surprised. I'm like, oh, Walter's here.
Yeah.
Good.
Me and Brent, whenever we go to shows, we always see a good buddy of ours, Will.
Yeah, it's someone we've just met exclusively at shows.
He's
And
a DLC character.
A DLC character.
Yeah, we've never interacted with him outside of a show. It's
I
just,
have people
just
like
a
that.
concert persona.
Yep.
Yeah. How would you all describe your all sound?
All right.
Take it away, Eric.
I think. Okay, so of course, broad umbrella, you have progressive metal, right?
Okay.
But then I think we fit pretty squarely into just instrumental progressive metal. I think that I only add one modifier there, but I think that pretty accurately describes it. and I definitely think like, I don't know, would it be helpful if we like maybe talked about some influences like
absolutely.
personally
Yeah,
or something like that?
absolutely.
'Cause I think like our sound has evolved a bit since our first and second and then like our current third album that we're writing. So it's I feel like influences have changed a bit here and there. But I'll start with myself, at least like getting into bass and all that. Definitely Dream Theater was a big one for me. Rush too. And more recently, I feel like Contortionist is big. Tesseract, speaking of, I think are pretty big influences. And I think like intervals to an extent. I think more specifically Jacob Umansky of intervals.
For sure,
I think like just like in terms of like modern bass techniques and everything. Like I feel like he is very much a pioneer in that way. And so I think that's like in terms of where I'm coming from and like some of the influences that we pull from. But Alex, do you want to add to that in terms of like personal influences? But then you feel like maybe band influences too?
Sure. So, I mean, God, it's too obvious. I'm wearing my Animals as Leaders.
I heard you only
little
go to
t-shirt.
Animals as Leader shows.
Facts.
I wonder who said that. No, I mean Animals has been huge, but maybe I'll take from a personal stance, maybe like a little like background on like some of my like original influences for guitar and whatnot. Because really it's these two that got me into like more of like the metal stuff. Like when we started Modern Fuzz, it was very much like kind of jam, hard rock and whatnot. But they really opened my eyes to like what, different types of not just like national but like local stuff too, like all the different types of influences, all the different types of genres that were out there that I wasn't experiencing. But Jimi Hendrix, huge influence.
on.
Just not like
Nice.
it wasn't so much the notes he played, but like what he did in between, just all that feedback, the noise, and like it even shows up in a lot of like Modern Fuzz tunes now. I'm not a huge shredder, but I love like filling the void with just like useless noise, but it fits. But also maybe another like left field inspiration for a lot of like melody things, and again maybe it's like personal, but maybe band related to a lot of like indie stuff, like indie rock, indie pop, alternative and stuff, like big influences. So like Eric Levi got me into the progressive metal, just like heavier scene when we started getting more into like, hey, what does Modern Fuzz really sound like? But on a personal level, lots of different stuff too. So
That's awesome. Yeah, having like a different background or different influences to kind of what you're actively making kind of help you stand out more. There's you always talk to artists usually, and you hear their influences, and they are just like a random mishmash of stuff. Sometimes it's clear cut. It's just like, I'm into deathcore band, that's all I listen to. But yeah, usually there's like a nice tapestry to it.
it's very fun finishing up. Like we just played a show up in Frederick with a band, Half Heard Voices, I think at Cafe Nola. Yeah, real fun show. And afterwards, I forget the lead singer, but the bass player Stefan, he got us on that gig. Shout out Stefan, through like a mutual friend of ours, Ken Eaton, who's helped us do our albums. But I remember the lead singer of Half Heard Voices coming up to at least me afterwards, like, what kind of stuff are you into? And I'm like, dude, indie pop. And I was just like on this like huge gig high, and they he was like, what?
It's like a left field thing too. Yeah.
Sometimes
It was
you gotta scratch that itch.
Yeah. Oh, it was a time. But
Yeah. Or at the start of this year, Walter and I were listening to a bunch of like art pop and K-pop and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then and then I would just like slammed right back into tech death.
oh yeah,
You're like, all right, enough of this.
Yeah.
the waves, man, the waves of stuff.
Yeah.
Levi, you want
I
to?
should go. Yeah. So I guess I'll start with drumming. I've always liked drummers who can really. It sounds really like generic, but like drummers who can play tastefully. Like they can fill in. They can throw these really interesting fills and create creative grooves and interesting time switches. But I don't really like choppy, shreddy kind of drummers. Like like the gospel chops kind of stuff. If you guys know what that is, like
I love it.
I respect it.
I love the shit
It's
out of
great,
it.
but like it's never been me, I guess. So I really like the Loathe drummer. If you guys are into Loathe at all, I can't think of what his name is, but just like really good at laying down like a heavy groove and supporting what the rest of the band is doing. The contortionist drummer, Joey
Baca.
Yeah.
Joey Baca. Same thing. He's just a very solid player. He knows how to play in context really well. Other than that, like I grew up on a lot of like contemporary rock and like country, believe it or not. And I feel like all of that, like I didn't listen to like a lot of jazz or a lot of like super performative stuff growing up. It was always like, you know, country music is like you're telling a story and everything else behind that is like setting the scene for that. And like contemporary rock, like worship music, I grew up in the church. All of that is about like setting a scene and not necessarily like sticking out all the time. So I think that really influenced how I play personally. And then I guess just for bands that I like now, obviously Loathe and Contortionist. Poppy.
Oh,
you guys
right.
I know
I've
heard
Poppy.
Yeah,
I haven't
but
listened
that
to her much. Yeah.
I'll like fall off every so often, and then I'm like, man, I really like Poppy. Like, I like that she has this like Barbie voice, but she just throws her voice over all these different genres, and I think it's really cool.
There is kind of like it's not something I've checked out much, but there is like kind of an interesting trend of like, I don't know the term for it, like alternative pop or something. There's like Kim Dracula or just, these people that are sort of poppy, but like embracing the kind of like fringe sub genres and stuff.
Right.
Alt pop.
I don't know if that's the term. That's just like what I came up with now. Just like poppy, kind of Billie Eilish a little bit. But she's more like mainstream.
Oh, true.
Sleep Token's another big one that
Yeah,
I
I love
really
Sleep
like
Token,
right
yeah.
now. I just saw them at Ram's Head Live.
Yeah.
Ram's Head Live a few weeks ago with my buddy Evan. Shout out. And obviously great vocalist, but their drummer, again, like he can chop out and like make it seem really cool, but when he falls back into a groove, he does it really well. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Shit.
Yeah, personality when playing can take you a long way. Like, like the technical ability is very flashy, but it's usually like when someone's personality shines through that kind of like is distinct for listeners.
Right.
I don't know. It's all about the pop it so you can lock it.
Yeah,
Facts.
it's all about the blast beats. That's it.
Also, Arik and Prada, he's the drummer for Night Verses, who was on the same lineup when we opened for Intervals.
Oh, sick.
Night Verses actually played right after us, which was crazy because at the time Arik was like, or Eric, it's Aric. I'm gonna say Arik.
Is he British?
He's not. He's American. I know that.
So it's probably Eric with an A.
I know. I just, sorry.
Trying to be different.
Just saying it phonetically. It was so cool because he's like this god tier drummer to me, and he just like played right after me. I'm like, I'm not worthy. Why am I here?
Why am I on this stage with you?
I remember, I guess one that came up and think of is Tool too.
Oh.
I think, especially, I feel like more Alex. Like that was one I feel like that you guys more to me on the Tool. But I remember, like we were getting off the stage and the bassist for Night Versus, I think Riley Herrera, I think. He was like, yo, like love it, like in like real Tool vibes, or like something to that sense. And we're like, oh, thanks. And it's like, yeah, definitely you could see like I feel like even the first album, a lot of like Tool inspiration for sure coming through in that way. But yeah, I guess to like to the original question of like what is our sound, I don't know. I mean, I think it's in. Or Levi, do you want to add?
I was just gonna say whatever we want it to be.
I mean,
on
that's
that
true.
day.
Yeah, I was gonna
true.
say I don't want you to feel pigeonholed to defining. I just wondered if you had like a sort of philosophy behind it, or wanted to describe it in your own words. But
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's definitely like Levi, you were starting to mention with kind of like the storytelling of like country stuff. I feel like that is one of the unique challenges of writing instrumental stuff, is that we don't have lyrics to tell like okay, this is XYZ is happening with the lyrics in this song, or we're trying to tell you a specific message or whatever. With instrumental, it's much more like conveying kind of, I think it's more like, I think of it as like raw emotion more through music, and like and a lot of our style too is like taking themes and kind of like how like classical and like jazz will do, and like themes and like variations on themes over time, and like making that into something that is cohesive, right, in a song. And so that can look different. Sometimes it sounds, we sounds a little bit more jazzy. Sometimes it's more in the, especially with the addition of the 8-string, maybe more to talk about that later with Alex's 8-string. We've been leaning into like heavier stuff recently. I feel like Meshuggah is like
talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Meshuggah has like been a bigger influence, at least thinking of our more recent stuff, or Car Bomb, stuff like that.
For sure, yeah.
So I don't know. There's so many great bands to I keep on thinking of ones like, oh yeah, like we'd be like, oh, we kind of wrote this in a Car Bomb style or like XYZ band style, and there's so many good ones to choose from. So anyway, I could talk about it for a while, but that's like, I feel like that's at any given point you can kind of be like, oh, we were listening to a lot of Car Bomb that week, and so we wrote this in a Car Bomb S style because it just seemed like it worked. So.
So I got a question for y'all then. So like, do y'all like unanimously listen to music together, or do y'all just happen to like listen to music like separately and then y'all just vibe within the same spectrum and then just write songs based off of that? Or do you kind of just like, hey, listen to this, and then y'all start grooving onto that?
So like,
Sorry for my bad.
Oh no.
English.
So like, in terms of like, are you referencing to like the writing process, or just like in general, just like
so
when
like,
we listen to music?
What I'm referencing to is like, do you all like unanimously like sit in a room, listen to songs together, or just like on your own time, and then kind of like collectively like get the like that I guess that motion like that you are, that itch that you're trying to scratch, and then eventually like convey it into a song, or like at least try to like put it into a section into a song that you are writing to.
So I think when we're being, I think, more serious about the listening, we definitely take it, like we all have our own artists we like and stuff, but there's also like a lot of mutual love for artists and whatnot. I think when we're together though, and we listen to stuff, we listen to a whole bunch of different stuff, but it's very much in the background. There's very not rare, but like we don't often listen to lots of things collectively unless we're like really analyzing and like putting it through the motions. But when we're alone, I think it's more like, personal enjoyment, and then those little inspirations we'll bring to like the practice session. Like, hey, I was listening to this week, but like I think I did this with a contortionist a while ago. Like I think just subconsciously I was listening to, oh gosh, what's that song?
Thrive.
Yeah, we were listening to Thrive.
Thrive.
And I was like, guys, I wrote this riff this week, and it was like it was
Thrive, like, note for
literally
note.
Yeah, it was Thrive over. Yeah,
I think that's
oh my
called
God.
copyright.
We might have to change it a little bit.
Sorry, contortionist, but like
Buried in your subconscious.
yeah, but what's fun is like you listen to those things, and subconsciously or consciously, like it gets into your writing eventually,
of course,
more or less, whether you want it to or not. So again, I mean to kind of wrap it up, and please, if I'm wrong, let me know. But together we listen to a lot of different stuff. Sometimes it's trash and we love it, and sometimes it's fire and double love it.
I was gonna say, and you hate it.
Oh, sometimes, yeah. Like I don't want to
Too
speak
good.
bad on it.
It's too good. You should hate
It's
it.
like there's sometimes like there's bands you'll listen. I'm not gonna name names, but like there are bands you listen to and like they're so good and they're so talented, but you're like, I would never just casually listen to this. Like it's almost good. it's too talented, but it's not good. You know, like it's something that like
That's how I feel about Dream Theater.
Based.
Burn. I'll take that. Not personally.
Sorry, John Pertucci.
Labrie fans devastated. I'm gonna stop now.
I refer to that sometimes as technical wankery, where it's like flashy, it's showy, but like there's not much to chew on. It's like I listen to it and enjoy it, and then I never go back to it.
Yeah, I was, and please, Levi, feel free to chime in. But like, I was thinking about that earlier this week. Just like, I feel like it's like the Dragon Force effect of like, you know, like when you first play Guitar Hero 3 and you're like, this is like the best music ever made, you know, like when, like through the fire and flames, and it's like, okay, it's a great song, like it's legendary in like guitar world, right?
Absolutely.
But it's like you listen to that and it's like you've heard basically every Dragon Force song, and like I'm to be fair, I'm not super well versed in Dragon Force like discography, but it's just I feel like I don't have much of a need to listen to anymore, and I feel like in a similar technical wankery thing, Polyphia in my mind was kind of like that, like early album
Hot
stuff.
take.
He just went there.
That's what I'm talking about.
You heard it here, folks. Get him.
Get it.
Tim
not gonna
Henson's
lie.
great.
We got him.
Tim Henson's great. But that's why,
FBI inbound.
right? Yeah, we gotta wrap this up, boys. I gotta go. But it's like, and it's not even like I like Polyphia. Like I think, like New Levels, New Devils, especially is
That
like
was a great album.
is like a great album because they take, I think they strike like a great, I don't know, I hate when it's like we gotta strike a balance, but it's like in this case it's true, like in terms of having the technical proficiency, but then also stuff that is actually memorable and things that you want to like they get stuck in your head later on, right? Like that's where I feel like some of the technical wankery, as we're calling it, fails, where it's like, yeah, it's amazing and it's very hard to do, but it's like who cares, like who remembers that after the fact, right? Like is that really something that people want to go back and listen to because it's like catchy, or like does it make you want to come back to it, I guess. So that's like, and again, like back to kind of our writing style, I feel like that's been like, at least personally for me, has been on my mind as we're like writing stuff, is like, okay, yes, maybe we can write this to be harder or like sound more like technical, I guess, but is it like, does that actually sound good or like accomplish what we want to get across with our music? And so it's like,
Yes.
I feel like that is like the yes. And so it's like, and like, okay, yes, absolutely. It
Walter's
can
like,
sometimes.
yes, your music is very simple. I agree.
Step it up.
Sorry.
I'm waiting for the 8-finger tapping.
But yeah, and so I think I've ranted enough. Levi, do you want, or I'll pass it back. I'll pass it back. Yeah.
But also, it, in terms of writing too, and like what the fans want, it can kind of be a feedback loop in these niche subgenres like tech death and prog and stuff, where like a lot of the fans usually are musicians themselves, and they want to hear, you know, this very technical writing, and so it's like, you know, you kind of want to perform and write for them. And they're not always receptive to like something new or different.
Oh yeah, I hate gatekeeping. Like especially fans, like I fucking hate that. Like especially when it comes into the metal community, like progressive metal fans. Hot take. Progressive metal fans tend to like gatekeep their music.
What?
Oh yeah.
No way.
Not
Oh,
us.
especially being like, oh no, my music's better because it's a lot smarter.
Yeah.
And then like,
Yeah.
and I think that goes with all metal fans too, to be honest, with like, especially with like death metal fans, where like if it's not heavy, they don't want to listen to it if it doesn't have blast beats. Because I was on that end of the spectrum, and like gatekeepers kind of ruin like music for me just because I don't want to see like a bunch of those fans just like hating on another band that probably has like a unique sound that they couldn't get into, but they're probably getting mad that it's being more receptive by the general public and getting way bigger.
Yeah.
And other than their niche, shitty recorded 5150s in a really shitty studio.
We need like air horns and like the
I
in
love
post
5150s,
and
but like
what-
the records back in the day like sounded like ass.
I'll add stuff in the edit.
yeah.
But you
Little Transformers FBI rates out.
you made a good point about being in an
Thank you.
instrumental, you're welcome. Being in an instrumental / prog band, like there is kind of a pressure to write for your audience, which is usually other members of like prog or instrumental bands. But like, I don't necessarily go against that. But like, if we can write a part that like, it sounds dumb, but like a part that my mom likes, I'm like, hell
That's
yeah.
a win.
Like this is a win for me.
Oh
That's
yeah,
true,
because
yeah.
most people by it's weird to me because I like it, but so many people by default are not on board when there's no vocals. I tried
100%.
recommending Polyphia to someone, and they were like, "Oh, there's no vocals. That's just elevator music." I was like, "Are you
Kidding?
what? Oh my god! Like, there's so much that you're just like right away.
It's
Just
a lit
writing
elevator
off.
ride.
Yeah.
It's also hard for as musicians to try to convey music to like people who don't like generally like seek music.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have like like the verse chorus like formula, like they generally don't like it.
I think what I like about this kind of music, and this is maybe like a really like meta philosophical thing, is like I wasn't super into instrumental music before, and what initially got me into it was like Rush.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
really appreciated it until I started with these guys, and we were trying to look for a singer for a while, and I think we spent about maybe like 8 months to a year like genuinely looking for somebody, and then we came to the conclusion like we could just do this instrumental. We reworked a lot of stuff for album 1. Then album 2 is definitely like we were writing these with the intent like to not be a vocal heavy band. But the reason why I like instrumental music so much now is a lot of the reasons why I like certain types of art. Like I really like abstract art because the artist maybe has a message in mind when they go and make this art, but everyone has like this unique experience with it themselves, because whether you read the little thing or not, like you can look at it and feel some sort of emotion, where lots of other art styles you look at it and it's kind of like a more explicit message of what it's trying to give. Whereas like instrumental music, like, yeah, it could be progressive metal, but everyone can have a different experience with it. Whereas like you listen to, I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but like a Taylor Swift song, like the lyrics are very explicit. There's a message, there's a direction to it. But if you take that away, people could have lots of different experiences to like just, the background to it as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're not led to a takeaway. You just
Yeah.
have one, whatever your individualized one is.
Oh, okay. So your gatekeeping comment though, I wish Sleep Token was gatekept for like a couple more months after their tickets for their Brent
yeah,
show came.
You're like,
The resale $400.
fuck. I honestly I thought of like this is like the I guess the adults part of me where it's just like buy a ticket, resell it 3 times the price, someone's gonna fucking buy it.
True.
But then like the honest
Worship.
person in me is like, don't be that guy. You hate that guy.
Yeah.
But it's also like my bank account's like, yeah, I'm not gonna hate that guy.
Yeah. But I mean, like the moment, like 10 a.m., it was like the tickets were open, out.
Yeah, I
immediately.
tried.
Yeah.
I really tried, but then it was sold the fuck out.
I know.
God, like I really wanted to see them too because this album was so good.
I blame TikTok.
I honestly, do you want to talk about the first time we saw them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we hated them. The first time we saw them.
Was it that Plenty show? They opened up for Plenty?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that a while ago.
Or no, wait. Polyphia. Wait. Oh, God.
Plenty was on the bill, but it wasn't.
No.
Wasn't that Plenty?
We'll
I
just say
don't
we
know what I'm
saw
talking
them.
about.
I thought it was at Soundstage. I
Definitely
was there
was.
for Polyphia.
Wait, wasn't a
They
rapper?
just released
Wasn't
new
a
levels
rapper?
from Devil-
Issues.
Little Aaron,
Little
was
Aaron.
there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wasn't there,
thank
but I
you.
remember the
Yes,
show.
and Hajira opened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Hijira opened for a different band.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That was a way different band.
They said
That was
you
for
hate
the
Hijira.
animals.
yeah,
Yeah.
we could not stand it. It was just yeah, I didn't know what was going on. It just maybe this is my hot take because I liked some songs from their new album, but not all of them. I just as the album went on, I was just like, okay, the vocalist is like the centerpiece. This is probably his project. And it's just a lot of him just sort of like flexing. And it was just sort of gratuitous. There wasn't like any fat trimmed. He's just like, this is about me. I'm just going to lay it all out there. What's the main single from it? Chokehold. That's my favorite. That song's a banger. It's super good.
Yeah.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
I like Aqua Regia.
What was... There was one song that hard lost me towards the end. It sounded like a Drake song or something.
What, was it off the new album?
I forget what it's called. Yeah, off the new album.
Is it Do You Wish
That You Loved Me?
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you wish that you wish you loved me?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that
Do
was
you
the
wish that you
one.
ordered me Subway?
That was the one. Yeah.
That's fair.
This is going back a good bit, but a question I had
Oh, hell yeah.
regarding like narrative and stuff to instrumental work. In the writing process, have you all ever had a narrative in mind for a given song? And if not, do you think you would attempt that in the future?
So Alex mentioned it a little bit before. Our first album, we kind of wrote with a singer in mind. So if you go back and listen to that album, you'll hear a lot of like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, whatever. And I think once we realized that we weren't going to get a singer, we kind of just beefed up the riffs that were going to be behind the singer and just made that our product, essentially.
Sick.
And then with Orion, our second album, we were definitely sure we weren't going to have a singer at that point. So we started playing with themes more. Like, I guess that's kind of like a narrative, but just taking one melodic,
I'd say so.
like a melodic theme or a rhythmic theme and just using it in different ways throughout a song or one throughout the entire album. Like there is a theme. There is a theme in Orion that comes back for like 3 or 4 songs. Like the
Oh yeah, we
It sounds dumb.
sneak it in there a whole bunch.
What's the term for that?
a motif.
Leaf motif or something like that. Yeah. I learned that trying to analyze like some Viltjarta music. Yeah, because they'll use like melodies that come back and it
Yes.
has something to do with the narrative. Yeah.
Yes.
So like they introduce it early on and then reintroduce it later in the song?
Yeah. And
Oh,
I mean, they
okay.
also do have a vocalist and lyrics, so that
Right.
helps lend to it. But yeah, they'll have like certain riffs or melodies that like will have a different context later in the story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think Entheos did that with
Yeah, there's a good bit. Yeah,
With,
I know the
the-
Ocean's done it. Yeah.
for sure. And then,
Viljarta's great.
yeah, Viljarta.
Oh, they're dropping new singles.
It's like Humanity's Last Breath and Viljarta.
Right.
Yeah, it's open season. It's good.
Yeah,
It's good
killing-
eating right
it's-
now.
It's spooky season.
Yeah.
Killing season. Ooh.
But I guess for album 3, I think we kind of toned back on themes because in album 2 we really liked this one theme that we put throughout the album, and it was cool to do that. Like I think it really worked for what we were going for. I think album 3 we're kind of focusing on just writing individual songs that hold themselves up. Like, so you could listen to each song as just like a single and it would make
sure.
complete sense. Like there's no going back to Sleep Token. I think Chokehold would only work as like an intro song. If that popped up in the middle of the album, it would be kind of funky.
Gotcha.
We don't want to write any songs like that for this next album. We just want them to be their own little mini stories that you can listen to at your will.
Gotcha.
That's our goal.
Is writing each subsequent album, is it getting easier? Like, are you getting more of a flow, or is each one just its own individual challenge?
I think each one is its own challenge.
I can add a good Levi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, album 2, we released that in 2020, so it's been a few years now. And I think just due to COVID, like our writing kind of slowed down for a year, and we had to do like remote practices and just kind of upkeep the songs that we had already written. And now that we're kind of back, not kind of, we are back in the flow of things. We're doing a lot of writing now, preparing to hopefully record this album
Nice.
semi soon. Yeah, I mean, we feel like we're back at it. We're writing kind of at the same pace that we always have, but we feel like with each album we can accomplish more in the same amount of time, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Can I also like compliment that like it's very rare for a band to like everyone be like very friendly towards each other, like in a group setting like this, and like y'all's friendship I can tell is very genuine. Like I don't know, like how did y'all like did it something that it came naturally, or just something that like who introduced who, and then eventually you're all like we all clicked together like comedically and then like musically?
So I've told them before, like, it really helps our band that they're like two of my best, not two of, like they are like my best friends. And I've told them before, like, we have weekly practice. Like there are so many weeks where just hanging out with them, not even like practicing, is like it's like the thing I look forward to the most. So yeah, I'm very thankful that like the three of us have similar senses of humor. We all kind of have similar backgrounds. So it really worked out well that way. But I knew Eric. Well, I don't. Do you want to take it? How we all met?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was gonna say
You're like the historian.
I'm the historian.
The stenographer.
Well,
the historian.
I wanted to pass it to Alex. I think the story of how the band formed, like initially, I think is interesting, and like the whole Yik Yak thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa,
you wanna,
Yik Yak, Gavin.
All right. You
With
go
like
ahead.
the
That's
show
a part
Yik
of my
Yak?
brain lighting up.
So,
It hasn't
okay.
changed in a while.
So you guys know the app Yik Yak?
Yeah.
Like so for those listening
Now I'm thinking of Yakety Yak.
or watching, actually, yeah. So okay,
Yeah.
no, I mean, banger show, but throwback Nickelodeon. No, so Yik Yak was essentially, to sum it up, it was anonymous Twitter like years ago, back like when I was in college, like around 2014, 2015 is when it kind of really popped off on campuses.
On college, and it was proximity based.
Yes, that's what made it a big
Oh
deal.
shit.
Yeah, so like you could make a post about someone and it was anonymous, right? You know, I don't know. Your listeners won't see it, but I'm doing the little bunny ear quote fingers.
We'll probably pan the camera to you.
You're on camera.
So there's you're on camera. They're watching you. Anyway, okay, so Yik Yak, anonymous Twitter, proximity based.
Hold on, we're gonna close the door real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, getting a juicy talk now.
Ooh, yeah. So close the door. Yik Yak's coming out. I believe it's since defunct. I think it tried to make a comeback, but long story semi short. In college, I did like a little pop punk project for like a few months. We did a battle of the bands at like the 930 Club, and then our lead singer at the time had to like go to the Marines. So
Had
it kind
to.
Had to.
Yes.
Had to or wanted to.
I think he left college and joined the Marines, and last time I checked, I think he's in like a Southern rock project these days.
Oh yeah, brother.
But there were a number of years where, like, you know, I'm in college, I'm trying to study, and you know, playing little things here and there. It was mostly solo. And by the time I was finishing up my senior year in 2015, I did some research today to check on this. In 2015, I was a senior. 2016, I graduated. I was like, I want to like start something. So when I finish school, you know, I'll have this project set up. I'm going to have more free time and whatnot. So I got on Yik Yak and I made a post and I was just like, hey, I'm looking for a drummer. Drop your email and I'll reach out to you and we'll like set something up. Like just send me some videos. And I forget the specifics of how it worked, but I got a couple emails and Levi's was one of them. And genuinely my only criteria for like picking a drummer was, can you play in time? And if you do fills, can those also be like as close to in time as possible? Because it was, I had tried different drummers for like a number of years, like, and not many, but like, you know, try to get people by, jam. Shout out to my dad for letting me use his kit in the basement.
Oh, that's
Ron King.
I know,
That's
Ron.
clutch.
Ron is the man.
Ronald.
Yes. So, yeah, Levi, I think he sent me his Instagram page with a couple of videos. And I was like, oh, this exceeds. Oh, shit. I was like, Dad, can I give this guy over?
In the basement alone.
But we first had, we talked for a little bit and then we hung out. Like our first contact was in the UMBC Commons outside Mondo Subs, which I think is defunct. I don't think Mondo's is there anymore. Rip Mon. Oh my God.
Was it good?
It was like the one. Yeah, it wasn't good. It was like the one edible thing there. So we met out there and we just kind of talked about our interests and whatnot. I was like, yeah, let's like, you know, get together. And long story short, like I think we had a practice at my place, and it was just me and Levi at the time. And I forget, I don't know if did I send you like songs like, hey, like try to listen to this and let's like jam on these tunes.
You sent me 2 songs that you had, you wrote in the past just as your own jams.
Oh, that's right.
It was
Yeah,
Disco and Contrition. Those were the working names. And then you sent me some Royal Blood songs, mainly Come On Over, which is still a great song. And you were like, can you just learn these and then come over and we'll jam on them? And that's what I did. And all of this is so funny because, like, I'm not the kind of person to go on an anonymous app and be like, yeah, I'll hang out with you and give you my email. I guess I was just feeling myself freshman year. I was like, I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to meet some friends. Had this happened any other year, I'd be like, this person's a creep. No, absolutely not. It turns out they were not a
Destined to
creep.
be.
It was actually destined to be. Yes.
Yeah, and so we started doing like, we didn't do like huge gigs or anything. Like I remember we had one little show at UMBC like on the quad, and then I don't know if we did anything about it. We just kind of like jammed here and there.
We had like 2 campus shows.
Did we have 2 campus shows?
Yeah,
Wow.
one was up in like the second floor of the Commons. It was like a talent show night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter, but yeah.
Wow, it's been a while.
Damn.
And then I remember like having this idea in my head. I was like, oh, we could just be like this 2-piece. It would be so cool, like White Stripes. But you knew of a bass player who's Eric, and Eric, Levi.
So leave my name out of this.
Yeah, Levi was like, dude, I know this guy. Like, he's in high school, but like, we could get him, man. He's coming to UMBC next year. Like, I could see if he's interested. And I was like, all right, yeah, cool. And then,
For context, Eric and I went to the same high school, and
Gotcha.
we did a jazz band together.
definitely helps.
We did like our school worship band together. We did like pit orchestra for the plays there. Yeah. So we had already been used to playing in like a drum bass context, which
I've always
all
noticed
comes
worked out
together.
well.
So I noticed that like drummers and basses become best friends.
No. Yes.
Because like one relies on the other because one, y'all know how to work with each other. But like 2, it's just like eventually because you're both like rhythm section, like in many contexts, y'all understand each other's flow and like mentality. And then like I think there's also research done where like 2 musicians, like when they work with each other, their minds like tend to click. And then y'all kind of know when to synchronize, and then magic just happens.
We're like brothers, only closer. It's funny with Modern Fuzz though, because there's only 3 of us, and I feel like Eric and I actually have less pressure to play in sync with each other, because like we only have 3 voices in the band, so we can't have every drum and bass section be like, I'm laying down a groove and he's hitting, he's playing to my kick drum. Like we can't do that all the time. But yes, I would say we're pretty synced. We're all 3 of us are in sync.
Yeah. But basically, I'll let Eric talk on this, but because I don't actually know how you reached out to Eric and like what his thoughts were on like the band. So
He's breathing heavily, like God damn it.
But we eventually got Eric in to like my parents' basement for like a session, and it just like
He killed it.
Yeah, he killed it. So, but I'll let you talk on the
Before-
initial experience.
Before he talks, I remember seeing this one comment when your single was played on the Contortionist like live stream or whatever. I saw this one comment that fucking like made me laugh so hard. It was like that bass tone murdered my family. And I laughed so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, it's true though. It's super sick.
The keyboardist said something about your hands, but I don't remember exactly what he said.
I don't remember either.
Does he like good hands?
It's like you must have like the hand wingspan of an eagle or something like that.
It's funny. I do get comments about that. About I do have large hands, but yeah, that, and also I think during the sections like these guys must use drugs or something like that.
I think I do remember that. Yeah.
Which is
must
very
do
ironic
acid.
because
Yeah.
we're like the most clean cut 3 guys ever. We'll have the occasional sip of the alcohol, but that's kind of what. No.
But nah. Anyway, so back to, I guess I got the invite. So like I said, Levi, I guess in case that wasn't made clear, we all went to University of Maryland, Baltimore County. So yeah,
Dog.
retrievers, and so yeah, Levi reached out to me. I mean, we had been friends in high school, like you mentioned, put together a lot, and but yeah, it was between the summer of, I guess, yeah, senior year of high school and freshman year of college, and yeah, honestly, I'm like, I don't have like a specific memory of like him calling or like being like, hey, like you gotta do this or whatever. So I guess maybe I had low expectations. Who knows?
This ain't going anywhere.
Nah, but I think I remember being excited about it, just like not really sure exactly what it would be like. But yeah, I remember we were playing, and you know, I think it hadn't been too long since I had like a 5-string bass at that point, so I was like still, you know, getting accustomed to that, and really kind of yeah, actually it was weird. I started off, I didn't have any pedals or like any effects really. Starting off, I was like a like kind of a purist in that way, in terms of like, I don't know, I guess I just didn't think I needed it. And then it wasn't until like studio stuff where Kenny was like, you should do distortion, and I was like yeah.
Shout out Kenny Eaton.
Right. And I was like, all right. And then it sounded way better. I was like, okay, I guess I should get distortion. But yeah, I remember, I guess, and then, you know, from there, the rest is kind of history. But I remember one kind of funny memory was like, I don't know if it was the first or second time, but I think we were working through a song or something that you had sent me, Alex. And then it was like, we were talking about meeting the week after, and Alex is like, yeah, let's learn YYZ for next week. Okay. And we're like, wait, excuse me? Like, why?
Like, sorry, what?
For those who don't know, it's a very complicated instrumental song.
Yeah,
by Rush.
By Rush, yeah.
Also, I recently found this out that YYZ is the code for the Canadian airport, I believe.
Yeah, in Toronto.
Yeah. I just found that out, and I saw the correlation when I was looking for flights to Canada. I was like, YYZ, Rush, they're Canadian now.
It all makes sense now.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Are they from Toronto?
Canadian.
But like,
it's also Morse code for YYZ as well.
but really, so dang.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the opening rhythm.
Is it in 5/4 too?
I don't know if that.
Maybe, yeah. Probably something. It's not 4/4.
As we get the prog heads in their natural habitat.
Right, yeah.
Everything is 4/4 if you let it play out long
That's
enough.
true.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
play any instruments. My eyes are just like glazing over.
Yeah.
My bad.
Accurate reaction.
Elevator music.
Let's get into the elevator music talk. But anyway, yeah, and then, you know, we started writing, and then we went, you know, we were like, instrumental is pretty sick, and yeah, and then it worked out. Like you mentioned, like you said, personalities are such an important part of like
100%.
that is like a factor that I think is not maybe considered as much. Yet I feel like it's the reason why a lot of bands will fail. Is because you have like a volatile personality, or it's like a volatile mix of personalities, and it's like, or even like the goals of the band too. Like, especially if you have a band where it's like, hey, I'm doing this just for fun, and you have the other half of the band is like, I want to like tour internationally and go big, and it's like, okay, that's gonna meet at crossroads at one point. So it's like, if you don't broach that subject, it's probably not gonna end well. So it's like, I definitely feel fortunate that like, I feel like we've been able to be pretty open in our conversations, and like feel kind of like satisfied in the direction that we want to go, and not feel like this is like, I don't know, like we're somehow being stifled or something like that by like not doing certain things, or, you know. So definitely it definitely makes a difference to like have to, like Levi said, they was like best friends, and we can hang out, and it's not just exclusive to like band stuff. So yeah, it's huge. So
I love you guys so much.
yeah.
Shut up.
Bring it in, guys.
But
Talk about the music.
yeah.
Talk about how cool my guitar solos are.
You came up with this question the other day. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh shit, I forgot about it. All right, so this is one of many questions. One out of one question that I thought of that I thought of. I don't think of questions beforehand. I just do them as is. So this goes to each and every one of you. If you could re-listen to an album for the first time again, which one would it be?
Take it away, gentlemen. All right. any album.
Out of all the albums,
Out
that
of
you've
all
listened
the albums that I've listened to
to,
ever,
you can only choose one to re-listen to the first
Field
time.
recordings, anything's
Oh.
game.
I'm gonna give a semi-serious answer and then like a definitely serious answer. So the semi-serious answer is going to be Weezer's Blue Album. More influential. Okay, we both know Pinkerton's better. But I'm looking at Levi. But
I hate
there's
Weezer.
there's something just so like weirdly alt but like metal about it too. That's just like it's weird. It was a huge inspiration for me. When I was like 13, 14 playing guitar, like I thought if I could learn the My Name is Jonas solo, I would be super cool. And that never came to fruition. However, I did learn it.
You learned it, but you never became cool.
I'm still not cool.
You still don't know the solo.
Oh my god! But no, the series album would be probably Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. That
Okay.
album is it's so good.
That was the same. Like
It's just
I think-
so everywhere. I know, guys. I know.
Like,
know.
I think that was the original phrase for that question. What was your Pink Floyd album? Like the shit you just get stoned and like listen to like over and over again.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
like
think
the
we're-
one where it clicked you on a higher level.
Yeah. When-
Yeah.
Reality, like you're actually really high.
I think just like like Dark Side of the Moon doesn't go like heavy, right? Like it's got like hard-ish rock moments, but like it's so eclectic. There's so many sounds, and it was produced as if it was like made in the 90s, but it was made in like what, the 70s?
I believe 70s.
Yeah.
And every sound or every song is very distinct. That's like a big
Yeah.
thing for me, my attention span is like not having it all just like roll into one thing. It's like each one is very definable.
Yeah, and again, not that it was like a direct correlation to like how we did themes on our album Orion, but like there's a lot of themes across Dark Side of the Moon that like continually reference themselves from like the initial I think it's what, Breathe or something, the first song. Like so there's so many different layers to that album, and I'm gonna stop talking because I'm
You love that album? No,
It's so
we're-
good.
No, we're
But
here for it.
Eric, let's what do you got?
Thank you, Alex. I was thinking about this one. There a couple options come to mind. I think the one I can say pretty confidently is probably Language by the Contortionists.
That's a very
I feel like
awesome
that's like a more modern pick for sure. But I just feel like in terms of the influence it had on me and like just some of like the just very impactful moments in the album that are like, I think of like, I mean, of course the first two songs, 1 and 2, but then like Ebb and Flow, like The Parable, like such a great ending and like so many just like very moving moments that like still move me to this day. But I feel like listening to them fresh it's like it's different, right? Like you're
Absolutely.
saying, and it hits different. So that's my choice.
That's what the kids say. It hits different.
Exactly. Yeah, trying to be hip.
Vibes, dude.
Levi.
Language is definitely a good pick. That would be on that list somewhere. I would agree. And also the album after that, Clairvoyant, would be on there. That was like my college jam, which is probably kind of sad because that whole album is very melancholy and not like, it's not Language. It doesn't have these like big, like beautiful sprawling moments until you get to like the very end of the album. But I would say Clairvoyant, kind of a weird pick, but it's personal to me. It's an album called Oh Gravity by Switchfoot.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
that album was the very first album that was like, this is music that I like. This isn't just music that my parents listened to and I heard it in proximity. Like that was my first album. And to this day, I think it has a lot of diversity on it. I love John Foreman's voice. All of like the themes that he tackles and his lyrics are great. Yeah, I'd say Clairvoyant, Oh Gravity. And I'm seeing Switchfoot next week, and I'm very excited.
Oh wow, they're still a band.
They're still a band. They sound a little different these days, and they're older.
I was
But
gonna say it's because they're older.
one, because they're older, the passage of time has affected them,
Okay.
as it does all of us. But yeah. What are you saying? Singing Mental Illness. Shut up!
That came through loud and clear for me.
Did it? Yes. You know what? I'll give you guys the modern answer for albums. Probably Joy of Motion. Animals leaders.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like in terms of like modern metal,
Boring.
Yeah.
where are the lyrics?
So for me, is it still all right? Is it going?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Let's go.
So for me, my like Pink Floyd album, or like an album that like, mind you, you're re-listening to it because it's erased from your head. It is The Last Direction of Things by Intronaut.
That's a great album.
That like when I first heard it, I was like eyes open, eyes dilated, and I was like, I finally get the rhythm.
Yeah, dude.
I finally get why rhythm's so important. And then like that opened my eyes up to like a whole bunch of like different like tonalities from like a studio standpoint, but two like how I could like make music interesting without, because I'm a rhythm player at heart. Like I'm not a shredder, I'm not a soloist, and I'm like I always trying to like find my voice and like rhythm that would like make it stand out and like make it more like, I guess I wouldn't say palatable, but like more I guess unique, especially with like some of the music that I've written in before. But yeah, especially like playing like ping ponging delays, but like instead of like actually having a delay, do it for you and the other guitars that like talking back and forth, and it kind of like just like correlates with each other. And that's when I was like, I get music.
Nice. Good pick.
I wasn't expecting him to go. So I'm retreading some ground. I'm going to give two answers. My number one is also language. Heard it in college, blew my mind. The story I'll share with it is not so much the album itself, but there was one time I saw them live at Soundstage, and they performed mostly language material. And at that point in time, I was not like a weed smoker or anything, so I didn't imbibe anything.
At the
now,
time.
there could have been stuff in the venue, but regardless, just like me sweating in the pit and just
Contact
like
high.
just loving this music so much, it honestly did feel like a transcendental experience. It was like the first time I had that live, where I was just I felt like I was just like above myself or something. And then the second album would be Car Bomb's Waveform.
Oh.
The like squiggly one. That one,
Deep cut.
I discovered that back when I was living with my parents. I was up late some night. It was probably like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. or something. I was just about to go to bed, but I was just on a YouTube rabbit hole, just listening to music that recommended. And that album cover caught my eye. And that album's like an hour and 20 minutes or something. I started listening at like 3 a.m. I did not stop. I listened to it in one sitting. It was one of those things. Dillinger Escape Plan's been a favorite band of mine, but like their sound, I was like, I didn't know this existed in the world. I never knew I wanted this, but I'm so glad it's here. And I was just like, ugh. Yeah.
It's funny. I felt the same way when they put out a music video for Black Blood, which was the first single off of, is it Meta?
Yeah.
Meta. And I watched
strobe lights.
the strobe lights and like just how insane that song is musically. It's the same feeling. It's like I didn't even know this was like possible.
Also, the single Dissect Yourself,
Yeah.
where Ben Levin of Bent Knee created the animations and stuff, and his like psycho animations paired with their music is like one of the most overstimulating things for your brain.
The pew pew sound effects.
Yeah, that one exactly.
PP shit posting.
I'm out of questions, but I don't know.
I don't like,
Now we've entered the vibe section.
vibes.
Oh, the vibe section. Yeah, let's do it. Wow.
It's funny that you mentioned. He's gone. Walter's gone.
Resuscitate him. No way, he has a DNR.
I like your shoes, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Ooh. Yeah, put those up for the camera.
No, they're tough.
Jeez.
Tough, dude.
All right, so
No. Cover the dogs. Show us the.
In this economy?
Okay.
For free?
Nike SBs 58 on sale for I think $60 is when I saw them, and I was like, yeah. Originally these were like gonna be my skate shoes, but then I saw them in person. I was like, no, I can't ruin them just yet.
Fair.
And then I had to buy another pair of shoes.
I didn't know you skate. Holy shit.
I do skate every once in a while. I actually had an injury in my elbow not too long ago.
Oh fuck.
Because like I was warming up at like 9 in the fucking morning like an old man. I lost balance grinding this ledge, and then like my face was about to hit the ledge, and I was like, So like
Facts.
I pushed myself off the ledge, and then my elbow hit the concrete, and it was a big ass gash. I'll send you the photo.
Nice.
It was a big ass gash. That was pretty deep, and I also was like, my bank account was like, that's not worthy of patient first or stitches. You can left for dead that shit. Like fucking get some tape and just go like, and just like pills
here.
pills.
That's like the third time you said your bank account's talking to you.
It talks to me.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about that a little
Capital One.
deeper?
What's in your walk?
Do not
Sponsor
bank.
us? Question mark.
No free promos.
Sponsor. That'd be big, actually.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
I'd be like, that is a big ass upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
no, I say that because I'm like, sometimes I like ration out like, is this worth paying for, or is this worth like, I'm not gonna get into financial bro talk.
Budget talk.
That's we're not gonna do that.
But we can make it musical, and like that's basically every piece of gear I've ever thought of. Like, is this Strymon really worth it?
Is it really worth $4.99?
Is it worth someone coming up to you after a set and saying, "Is that a Strymon?
Will this translate to happiness?
Blue sky?"
Exactly.
Probably
Will
not.
buying this $2,500 guitar make me happy?
Yes.
For now,
For a
yeah.
hot second.
For
Yes.
now, yes.
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 Then it's
I
can
should
swap-
just practice.
Yeah. Oh man.
Something has to like break in two for me to replace it. I am like
Tool reference.
possible tool reference.
46 and 2.
Someone say tool.
I know like you guys will show off like a new pedal every so often in practice
Oh, I love those days.
to cover up your flaws or whatever. But I'm sorry.
It's like
Interview done.
I'm totally kidding.
it's like drinking an IPA.
Every true.
This pedal's so hoppy.
But you definitely can't hear how much I suck.
No,
9.7% verb.
So hoppy, bro. Just look at it. Just drink it. It's so good.
I say the pedals that are worth it though are definitely like not the drive ones, like the preamp shit. It's all post.
All right, so
Like-
all right. I guess we're gonna get into gear talk. All right,
Let's go.
Let's go. All
Hey, we
right,
don't have to do gear talk.
No,
buddy.
because like
Levi,
I'm already in
go
the
to bed.
vibe.
Get
All right, so like
comfortable, strap in.
he's like now he's entered the vibe zone.
Once the Strymon
Take a
came
nap
out,
over here.
it was over. Oh man. Well, okay, you inspired me to get a Strymon.
I did.
Yeah, you had the timeline when we met at the Undercroft. You were like, "Bro, check out my Strymon."
Bro, check it out. You see that?
No, I was fangirling because you had one. You
get
had
Pokemon
you had the
Go right
7-string Stramberg, right?
No, I have a
Was it a
6
six?
string.
It was a 6.
string,
Okay,
yeah.
but it was
Put the volume on
like
that
the
real
natural wood top.
Mhm,
You had the Fishmans, and I was like, ooh.
No, I have the Sir pickups on it.
Oh, the Sir pickup. Okay.
Because I was on the fence. I was like, I don't want to charge my guitar.
Oh, you know what? There was a dude in this band we played with recently at Cafe 611, Challenger Deep.
Mm-hmm.
They had a 7-string. they had a 7-string Stramberg. Like it looked just like yours, like the
Really?
natural finish, and yeah. But no, you had the timeline. I was like, oh, it's so cool. And then I did more research on it. I'm like, oh, you could program
Mm-hmm.
like your own delays. So like we have like delays like per song now, and we can like
Oh, wow.
name them. Yeah, like
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool,
it's
actually.
yeah. No, just all you have to do is download the software. Like it's free. You can
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah, you can do it on your
I've
timeline.
never plugged in my Strymon on my computer. It's probably still on the same firmware that I've gotten at.
Yeah, I don't think they. I mean, it's over 10 years old at this point.
It's still a
like
good
the
pedal,
design, it's still great.
Yeah.
However, though I don't know anything about it, Maris is coming out with some really cool stuff.
Oh, Maris, that's like shoegaze territory for me.
Oh yeah, shoegaze bands have the best effects. Like
Of course.
like Levi and I
'Cause they're
love
not-
this band called Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, they slap. They scratch this itch, man.
I was gonna
Oh
say
my God.
shoegaze bands have the best effects because they're not like showing off like their
Yeah.
guitar skills. I mean, you're showing off the pedals, and then that's how
Yeah.
they were. I mean, that's how YouTube became the fame.
But like, isn't that also kind of a skill though? Like finding like it's not too effecty, but even if it is, it's like, oh no, this is great. I feel like Nothing toes that line so well.
It's like
Okay.
audio engineering. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
really is.
It's like car bomb and experimental stuff. Yeah.
So like my personal favorite sound is like a driven chorus sound, like a chorus in front. I actually really got that from the Contortionist.
Really chorus in front. Oh,
Yeah, because it's like I would have my guitar, my drive pedal, and then the chorus being driven by my overdrive pedal, and then like going through my amps, this overdrive and distortion. I would just get this like really awesome crunchy like push to chorus sound, like versus like in the back would be a little cleaner with the chorus, but like I really liked how Cameron from the Contortionist was using it, because I don't know, it just sounded a little bit more pronounced, and I really like that sound like in front versus like in the back.
I didn't even know that like effects loops existed until like we started doing things with Modern Fuzz. Everything through the front, delay, verb.
Oh no!
everything. I just didn't know, man. Like, it's a big and like we had a Vox AC30 as like the main workhorse for a while too. So like already like you dial it up to like 2 and it's like crunch, like insane.
Yeah, now I remember you had your Mesa in the shop for like we had the guys taking a look at the tubes, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a show and like we switched back to the Vox AC30. And it was like we've been so spoiled by like like the 4x12 like freaking sorry, what's it? Mark 5, right?
Yeah.
The Mark 5 is a fantastic sound.
Right.
It's so great for like the versatility alone. Like it's not it crushes, but it's not the most crushing amp you could get. It's not like necessarily the cleanest amp you could get either, but like for everything that Modern Fuzz does is like we have soft parts, we have, you know, rough hard parts, we have like weird fusiony parts, we have all these different little things, and like the Mark just is like, yeah, got it. So it's been a game changer for us, like a lot with like writing too. So like
For sure.
gears and everything, but like it helps.
It inspires inspiration.
Yeah.
For sure.
We always say gear over skills.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't think you got to practice. Just buy expensive gear.
Yeah.
Go broke.
Go broke and never practice.
Yeah.
That's how you get good.
That's how you get good.
Nah.
Write everything Guitar Pro. Run everything MIDI through the fucking Neural DSP plugin,
Exactly.
guitar plugin, and then have your software perform your parts, and then never play them live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just kind of mime everything live.
Exactly.
Whereas kind of
Mime core.
Show us your big hands. Show us your big hands.
Backing track controversies.
big topic. Levi?
I will say, since you bring that up, like only recently have we started using Guitar Pro to like help with just basically writing down our what we write in stone, so
That's
we can
insane.
like reference it for later. But otherwise, like we don't dabble in
Well,
electronic assistance.
We should clarify. These two actually know like music theory and like how to work notes and software and stuff. I'm over here like again, like we had those themes in like that second album. We referenced to like, hey, so Eric, this new part I'm writing has the Orion chord here and it's on this string, and then the next part is the same shape but like 2 strings down. And like that's how I communicate to these guys. Like they actually know. They are so smart and talented. They like know what they're talking about when they talk with each other, and they like coordinate parts and like do Guitar Pro and stuff. And I'm over here like with, I don't know, like Lincoln Logs, like this is fun.
Remember the part where it goes,
yeah,
let's do that again.
that's really how I do it. Yeah. So
Yeah. And for music theory, people out there, the Orion chord is the major 7 chord, is what Alex is referring to.
What?
And so it's
no, invert, like this. I don't want to like flip you off.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
first, third, seventh.
Sure.
but I mean-
Whatever you say,
I
Walter.
think it's like I think of it like Alex speaks a different dialect of music, essentially. Is like, because that's really just what we're talking about, is like a common language for music.
Absolutely,
That's what like music terms is. It is a organized system for labeling and having a standardized way to communicate music terms, at least in like a Western sense, right? But then like with Alex, if he wants to call it the Orion chord, like It's not wrong necessarily. It's just his way of labeling
Yeah.
it.
As long as you know what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be exclusive to you, Alex, but I understand.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean,
I'm starting to learn.
yeah, like for us, like it works. Though
It works.
a bunch of my shit gets lost in translation, but like,
Tell them about the X's.
oh my god, yeah. So we have, this is essentially getting into like new song territory. I was in grad school and I was doing homework, somewhere. It wasn't at my house, and we were just getting into like 8-string music. Like I hadn't gotten the 8-string yet, but we were like it was like on the way because like COVID, supply chain issues. But I was like, oh, let's start like thinking about stuff. So we kind of did what Car Bomb does with like little like notepads of like little like big X's, small X's, which is something I think it's Greg Kubacki.
Kubek, yeah.
Greg Kubek. Yeah, he does something similar on like little notepads, and he'll post into his Instagram stories sometimes, and it's kind of funny because before I even knew he did that, yeah, I did no, we were kind of I was kind of doing that in like my spare little time. I was like, oh, I came up with this little like riff, guys. Like this would be really, really cool. And it was just a single note, but like, you know, like kind of Morse codey. And Eric and Levi are looking at me like, what the fuck are these X's?
Oh yeah.
Because like big
Those
X,
are dead notes.
yeah, because big X would be like, oh, this is an open note, and then like lowercase X is like, no, these are like chuggy or like kind of palm muted or something. And,
Gotcha.
And that was like the different way to differentiate the rhythms and stuff. Because like I also probably shouldn't say that I don't know theory. Like I know like some basics. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you like what my fingers on the chords mean. It takes me like a minute to like even know like what note am I playing on the guitar half the time. So
The duo Pound does that, and that's what they actually name their albums and songs as. Is just
Yeah.
that little X notations.
God,
Yeah.
their music is insanely.
They're
like,
just a drummer and a guitarist.
Insanely complicated. Like, it's just complicated. The rhythms are complicated because like it's like 8 or 9 minutes of like straight chug, and then like different patterns of like 9-string chugs. And then I remember listening to it, I was like, bro, I can't even comprehend how they can remember this. Like, like I thought learning a Meshuggah song would be bad.
Yeah.
Learning a Pound song would probably be harder.
oh my god, some of the Meshuggah stuff is crazy.
It's
Like
God.
their new album. Oh
Immutable.
my god. Yeah,
It's really good.
Phantoms.
Yeah.
I can't even like count the ending. It is a banger.
What is the one that goes like dun dum 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 dum? I think.
I think that's all of
I'll
them.
need a little bit more.
Yeah. But props to Levi and
No, I
Eric
am
for having
that
to deal with
thirst.
my
I am that
dumb
thirst.
notations. Yeah, but
We're in sync in many, many ways. Songwriting, like we're good.
yeah.
Might be like a moment of miscommunication sometimes, but
Yeah.
like any
All right.
relationship, you have to communicate.
Yeah, just have a quick temper tantrum and we're good.
Yeah, Alex like slams his fists into his thighs. He goes, dang it, dang it, dang it.
All right.
And then he gets his milky and then he's fine.
All right. So it gets his milky. Alex, you're not the same when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
Ugh.
Sponsor, please.
So I guess that brings me up to the next question: who does the main, or like who presents ideas more often than others? Because I'm assuming everyone here prevents forest fires. Everyone here contributes some sort of like musical like idea, either to start a song or like in the middle of a song. Like, oh, I had this idea, but it took me a week. I have it recorded. Here you go.
Yeah.
Do you all mostly communicate as well through like Guitar Pro or like recordings, or is everything just presented at practice?
So I think, like Alex said, Eric and I have an easy time communicating through like standard music theory. So we'll write things down in Guitar Pro to like solidify what a part is. Because beforehand, we would just go from practice to practice and be like, how did we play that last time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess it was this. And then it would change a little bit next practice and following. But now, you know, we're using Guitar Pro so we can solidify everything.
Mm-hmm.
But for writing, I feel like all three of us contribute pretty equally. Like sometimes Alex will just have a riff that he really likes. He brings it in, and then Eric and I write something underneath it. Eric does the same thing. I can't really write things on guitar or bass. I'll usually be like, hey, I think the next section should be like this vibe, or here's like a beat that you guys could play over, or this is like where I want the song to go, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty even, I would say. I don't think there's really a main songwriter.
Yeah, and I think what also, I mean, besides the fact that we're all best friends and whatnot, I think another thing that
Just
has
rub
led.
it in, why don't you?
No, it's just like something that's
so
like
cool.
so cool. Something that's like also led to the longevity, which is again hard. Is like we're not afraid to bring up new ideas. It's like, hey, we think this is cool, but we're also not afraid to like, respectfully critique or be like, oh, I don't know about that part, and we don't get like upset or angry about it, which is like
That's hard.
I feel like it's hard. It's like rare to do, but like we all are just like we just want to make the best music that we can with like like you said, like the audience is important too, like Dragon Force writes to the like what their audience might want, and it works for them. For us, it's like we're trying to toe like our abilities and our limits and try to like push them a bit, but at the same time it's like, does that, like, we're now at this place where like is that something like Modern Fuzz would write or like Modern Fuzz would do almost, or like how, like, does that sound good, or like, oh, we can make it better, and there's no hard feelings ever, because like I know I brought up tons of ideas, and they've been like,
Damn.
like we have
What is that?
like, oh my god,
What are those?
like I'm embarrassed to bring it up, but a long time ago, I wrote this little riff. Yeah, you're laughing. I wrote a little riff, and I nicknamed it Venus, because at the time we were doing like Orion was like name wise, like you're talking about narratives. Like we don't really have like specifically like lots of musical narratives per se, but we had like names in mind. Like, oh, it's gonna be like this cosmic, aquatic album, right? But this time around, or at that time, I was like, guys, this riff is gonna be so cool, and it was very embarrassing to say the least. Like, oh, it definitely got laughed, but it was very funny.
It sounded like this dorky like indie rock riff that you'd hear in like a Neutrogena commercial.
Yes,
Just like a skincare kind of commercial. So we called it Venus Neutrogena for a while.
That's
Yep.
funny.
But Redemption Arc, we part, like, it was kind of a
Phase
joke.
2.
It was kind of a joke, but it actually ended up being really cool. We brought the riff back for this third album, and he transposed it down to like the lower strings on the 8-string guitar,
Nice.
Yeah.
and kind of like repurposed it.
yeah,
And now it's like the main theme of like one of our new songs.
Didn't we
there
like
you
mention
but now
it
it
earlier?
slaps.
Actually, did we? That means you're.
Do it what?
You mentioned something earlier that like if it sucks in standard, it's gonna suck at all unless you fucking do it. Drop D on it.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly what
right
you
before
just
we start
did.
recording.
So okay, so for the recording, my hottest musical take, which your audience is going to hate, maybe.
I don't think we have an
is-
audience.
Stop. I was listening to all your shit on the way here,
Oh.
and this week. I was like, oh hell yeah, because like I was like, I went to that show.
Oh.
My hottest take is that that animal show 9.4. I think you gave it like
Animals as leaders.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't remember all my ratings. I think he has it in an Excel spreadsheet.
Yours was definitely a 9. You're like, this is a solid 9.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Yes, I do have a spreadsheet that keeps track of our scores.
Yeah.
I have a lot of spreadsheets.
Oh my god, what was I saying?
Oh, the tuning.
Yeah,
You
the
can
tuning.
drop
Sorry.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So the hot take is standard tuning is the heaviest tuning, but it's kind of evolved in that like if your riff blows in standard tuning, it's not going to sound any better just dropping the tuning.
But that's what you just did.
Yeah. Which I no, we modified it a little bit. We didn't put the dorky like lead melody riff in there. We took the underlying chords
Okay.
and made them kind of heavier, because that was okay standard. It was really just the dorky melody that we got rid of, and we do that with a lot of our songs actually. Like Orion 1 was originally this whole different tune, and we took themes that we liked from it and made it what Orion is now. And I think we also did that with the Reef. There's parts of a song we had called Contrition that like we scrapped, but we took little bits from it and we put it in Reef, and it sounds like a little kind of like thrashy, chordy, big intro kind of section. So we're pro recycling here at Modern Fuzz.
Glad.
All the riffs getting reused that are decent.
All the riffs are getting reused.
All the riffs are getting reused. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't throw away riffs.
exactly. Do what works and stick with it.
Yeah.
I have to wrap up the recording thing anyway, but we're almost at an hour and a half. Y'all want to wrap this up?
No.
You're stuck.
Oh, okay.
That's what
All
I'm
right.
thinking too.
What do you guys think about?
Let's talk about the stock market.
You know what? No, I
nowadays.
got a hot take. Listen to this.
Oh, actually, no, great. Let's do hot takes.
Listen to this.
All right.
Oh, here, let me reset the camera.
3
We'll be right back
hours
after these messages from our
later.
sponsors.
Oh, that was good.
Hi, bid.
Wait, no,
Bro,
Yeah, but-
you're supposed to have one.
Yo,
Oh
you're playing
my
a
god.
good poker face. You're like, all right, let me tell you about my hot take, chief.
Actually, I told shout out if you guys don't know yet,
don't.
there's a new, you know where Union Brewing is
Yeah,
downtown?
yeah.
Have you heard of Baltimore Music Company?
Isn't it right next to it?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
My buddy Steve just opened it. If you're a guitarist out there, it is the spot. It's
so what is it?
it's a music store,
Oh, sick.
but they also do they do lessons. They're coming out, I think, with like a custom shop in the back. Like they have a guitar guy who literally makes guitars.
Oh, sick.
His name is Ben. He's with Evil Guitars, and he makes some really cool, interesting little shapes and shit.
Wait, Steve. Short guy.
Yes, his name's Steve Blake. Long hair. He's in a Red Hot
does
Chili
he have
Peppers cover
glasses?
band. Yes. I think he
kinda-
wears them here and there.
Did he work for PRS?
He didn't work for PRS, but he was with Ryan.
Fowler?
Yeah, Ryan Fowler. for a
Okay,
bit.
okay.
He was the guitar luthier up there,
Okay.
and then he
okay.
split off and did his own thing. So I get my guitars set up with him all the time, but
Gotcha.
no, I do this thing where I know where I'm going with it, but I tangent too hard.
I do. the
and
same
I don't
thing.
know
It's
where
the
to-
ADD.
It is. Oh my gosh! But I'm gonna plug him. There you go.
Nice.
Look at the camera.
Yeah, any plugs y'all want? I mean, where do you reach it? I mean, in the description, I'll put links to your all's Instagram and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Shout out Fortnite. Shout out.
Shout out our parents for supporting us, on the real.
Oh yeah, I was
Karen and Dwayne.
at one or
Even
two
Bruce,
points. At one or
Ron
two
and
points,
Linda,
you guys
y'all the
were
goats.
you said you're fans, and we always make this joke of basically our parents is our fans, and our few close friends, which is
biggest
totally
fans.
fine. Definitely our target audience, moms, and mostly moms.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I get that.
Man, I love fans.
Our audience is, our audience so far is our friends,
Yeah.
and then some semi increasingly some of my coworkers.
Nice.
That's awesome.
heck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. My old coworkers at PRS, they definitely listen to our stuff every once in a while.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Yes. But also hot takes.
PRS, please sponsor
Ooh,
us.
hot takes.
So
Wanna end
I-
on hot takes, yeah.
I was bluffing. I really didn't have a
Come
hot
on.
take.
Eric, do you have a hot
I'll-
take? Actually, I didn't even get to hear Eric's
me
favorite
simmer on it.
Gear pedal.
All right, I'll or sorry, you want me to do the hot take? Or
Do
something
your
else?
favorite gear pedal because I wanted to hear your gear pedal, but then we.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just being annoying while you guys talking about gear. Okay. My favorite pedal.
That's currently on your board. And
Besides
stuff.
the tuner.
Besides,
which
yeah,
is
it's, yeah,
insane.
yeah, insanely accurate.
I love when it's on. Great tones.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, that sounds so good. I would say, actually, I mean, this is real generic, but the Dark Glass Micro Tubes X Ultra, massive name, but because it does the studio effect of splitting high pass, low pass, and then you can compress low end, distort high end. Not revolutionary, but having that in a pedal and being able to replicate, because when we did that in the studio, or Kenny I should say did that was huge, and it
Shout out Kenny.
made the bass tone awesome. So to be able to replicate that in some aspect live is huge. So
Okay.
I mean, that's just as I use it so much, I feel like that's my main pedal. I'm switching on and off, so but that's the obvious choice for me.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I know, especially with our generation, Dark Glass has become a standard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Huge. It used to be a Sans amp for a while, but now
Yeah.
Dark Glass is just shitting on Sans amps.
Oh yeah, and yeah. I mean,
They're just ripping their pants off and just
Eat it,
shit-
Sans Amp.
Yeah, shitting on them.
yeah, and I know Sans Amp, I know they're pretty legendary. I haven't played through one personally, but I feel like Dark Glass and I feel like they're always putting out something new. I feel like whenever you buy one, you buy a dark glass, and then like a month later they come out with like something better, and you're like, oh, okay. It's like, all right, well, okay, I just bought this. I mean, I don't know if I feel like I'm pretty good with where I'm at now, but they're always innovating, doing new stuff. So
For sure.
yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to see. All right, hot take time.
Hot take.
This is more focused at bass players. I think in some cases,
Could we like zoom in his face like when he does it?
sometimes 4 strings is not enough.
Ooh.
That is a common take that people will say that 4 strings is enough. You don't
Facts.
need any more than 4 strings. That's a lie. if you want to play like especially like heavier music and you want to have the extended range without being like flopping all over the place because you're doing this massive gauge string and like way down tuning it. I'm sorry, you gotta have unless you want to cheat and use like a digital effect or something and like down tune that way, but I guess that could work. But still I still think it's enough. You need to have the range.
I don't know who you are anymore.
So like
That's the first hot take I don't understand.
Okay, that's okay. That's why I was pointing it at bass players. I feel like if you go on like any bass forum or anything, you will see people arguing about it. It's like it's a pretty common thing. So maybe it's
do you feel them?
Sir,
like,
this is a
when they
Wendy's.
go like, all right, I'm gonna let me tell you what, brother.
yeah, exactly. But nah, it's you just get the extra string. It's fine. It's okay. I'm saying
Spend the extra $1,000. Get that extra string. Your
Exactly.
4-string precision bass is not enough. Get a 5-string.
Exactly.
Jazz standard.
Get a 12 string,
Yeah.
13 string. The more numbers, the more better.
Ingve Malmsteen.
More better.
As Ingve Malmsteen would say, no, more is more.
Yeah,
Why would I think less is more? No, more is more.
exactly.
And I was like,
Exactly.
you're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like also I do like commonly notice that like even gospel players like they will have like 5 strings minimum. 5 strings minimum. And even in like Latin music that like I grew up with, like bass is very heavy in that like culture where like I notice it more now as an adult than I did as a kid. But like there is heavy low end like and like some like I don't know, some like bachata music videos out like you don't even need to be like a skilled player to like keep up like with these beats, but like you need that low end to like really like make that ass groove.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just filling out the low end. It's like having that extra range. Like it doesn't seem like you're adding what, I don't know, 5 extra notes, I guess, in terms of like low end and like standard tuning, but it like adds so much in terms of, like you said, being able to fill that out and just the resonance too of those. You're having a thicker B string and things just, like you said, makes people move. So it's a hot take. I mean, whatever.
You're gonna get attacked by one person in the comments.
One person. I think you should. I do think that there is something to starting on 4 strings.
Absolutely.
And like, because I started on 4 strings, and I think that's great. And like, but then like, don't be afraid. Like, there's nothing. It's not gonna kill you. It'll probably help you.
Not yet. It won't kill them yet.
Not yet. So anyway,
actually, Levi, don't you have any drummer hot takes?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I disagree with everyone. If you if you feel one way
That's
about
personal
hot take.
a certain drum thing, I agree with you.
you're a pushover.
No.
What about
I just want to invest my energy elsewhere.
what about rim shots?
I don't know if that's a hot take. Okay. Well,
He said, "Now I'm gonna
So-
argue on this."
some drummers, like especially rock and metal, it's like getting that rim shot on that like big 2 and 4 snare hit is like that's like a make or break thing for some drummers.
Interesting.
Not important. I don't think it's important. Especially like if you're playing like live local shows and you're in a tiny room already, you can just hit the snare drum loudly. You don't need to get that like perfect trajectory and get that rim shot.
It's a perfect trajectory.
maybe not perfect.
So like I'm not a drummer, so I don't really understand like.
And I don't do rim shots, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of
Add the Pornhub things to that.
That's not even a hot take, really. That's just
For post.
that was just something.
I don't know. Yeah.
Alex, do you have a hot take for guitars?
For guitars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did standard tuning.
Oh,
right.
Standard
Yeah.
tuning,
Right,
yeah.
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 Are we doing one?
I guess we can. I mean, now like nowadays, I fucking hate gatekeepers and like people who try to like two things I hate: gatekeepers and people who are overly enthusiastic and try to push their music on you, like it's religion. I hate that. Like, let me listen to it naturally.
Hey, we're Modern Fuzz. Make sure to check us out at.
Yeah, if you don't, if you don't check them out, I will find you. But no, like people who like did you listen to this? Did you listen to this? What do you think about that? It's like, bro, like I get it. I analyze music too, but like I'm pretty chill about it. Like if we can vibe on that level where we can like just casually talk about it because we do have the same passion, great. But also like if I don't know it, also don't like talk my ear off like I do know it because I haven't listened to it or haven't paid enough attention to it.
Yeah.
It's like
Facts.
religion.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a hot take, but what I'll do in place of it is say like name some of the bands that I've tried to get into over times and just like I can't. I try so I used to be like, oh, I don't like that group and that was just it. But over time I try to be more objective and say like here's exactly why. I don't like this tone. I don't like that they play this like blah blah blah. But
Yeah,
certain
I
bands
hate that too.
certain bands I don't have an objective reason. I've never been able to get into them. Limp Bizkit's a pretty obvious one. Weezer and the singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers. I dig Flea and John Frusciante, but like I hate that fucking shirtless guy. Just hey ha hoo ha. Just like when he gets all breathy. And
That's a cold take, honestly. It's so
My heart dropped at Weezer.
I know,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not Cheezer.
I've seen them live before too. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't do anything for me.
Weezer's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
I absolutely hate Hash Pipe.
Yeah. Well,
It reminds me of Funky Town, and I hate that song too.
oh wow. I never thought of it that way. Yeah. There's
There's a lot of hot takes.
yeah. I'm gonna stick with Blue Album and Pinkerton.
Gotcha.
Everything after is a little. But that's not to say like again like
no pork and beans.
Weezer was a huge part of my like guitar learning upbringing. So like those riffs were like again minor 7 chord. That's all pork and beans is. With like
You're the music theorist.
It is. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah. Copyright strike. No.
But
No. Yeah. No, I get it though. Weezer's like after that, oh God. It's a minefield.
I just never cared for them. Like ever since I was little. Like even that they did a music video shoot at the Playboy House.
Oh.
I forget exactly what song.
Is it Beverly Hills?
Yeah, Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I think that was my first introduction to Weezer, and immediately I was like, "This is awful."
You think that's awful? Have you heard the Kids Bop version of Beverly Hills?
That's on our
That is-
post practice playlist.
No, what?
We have
So-
plenty of Kids
oh,
Bop
God.
on there.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on?
All right. So we have I won't go into the
The
full
lore
lore.
deepens.
I won't go into the full lore, but we have a post practice playlist that we listen to, and it's full of some heat, it's full of some trash, and everything in between. And we did throw. And sometimes we throw music on there to like throw each other off, like because we put it on shuffle and just like let it kind of go with some stipulations.
It's 45 hours long.
It is. Oh my God. Yeah.
Trash
it's-
gets you heated.
Yeah. So there's songs.
Trash.
There's songs in there we probably haven't even heard yet. It's that long. Like we took it on tour with us, and oh man, it was. I don't think we got
Brought
through it all.
comfort along the way.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Kids Bop on it.
They
yeah.
got
Like there's the
So
Beverly
you're basically
Hills.
a masochist for your ears.
Oh, it's so funny though.
It's just like roulette where like it'll be some heat. It'll just be like the coolest thing ever. Like, oh yeah. And then it's like a Minecraft parody, just like
Yeah.
by some kid, and it's fun.
Kids Bop did a version of WAP. Wings and pizza.
What? No way.
Add that. Write that down.
Write that down.
Kids, Bob. Wow.
There's no way.
Waffles and pancakes.
Waffles and
that's
pancakes.
okay.
Oh my!
I thought it was wings and
God.
pizza.
I wanted
Maybe
to,
there's another
Wow.
chorus. I don't know.
I wanted to ask Walter, just real quick. You mentioned Dream Theater was not. I also will criticize Dream Theater. I'm okay with that. Like I will like I feel like it's one of those things where it's like when you become a fan of something to a certain point, then you also become their biggest critic in a way. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
And it's but I'm curious like what your perspective is on them.
On Dream Theater,
Yeah.
mostly the fans kill it for me.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Those ponytailed, goateed motherfuckers who smell bad.
Eric, you're a ponytailed.
the memes online are pretty funny though. Like it's all, like the average Dream Theater fan, and it's like whatever, some, like virgin or whatever. Yeah, just a notch, yeah. But
Because only like two to three types of people listen to that music.
yeah,
Would you?
Sorry. I was gonna say sound guys.
yeah,
I was gonna say musicians and the partners of musicians because they're forced to listen to it.
yeah.
And we've seen them live too.
Yeah, we have. So like I'm saying, like we have seen it in live. There was a point where I liked Dream Theater, but I never really got obsessed with like Petrucci's playing. I will always respect him as a player.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic like human being. On top of that, like he strikes me as a cool dude.
Yeah.
For
sure.
But the fans, like they're just as bad as Tool fans, to some extent.
Really? In terms of like the pretentiousness or something like that.
They're huge pretentiousness.
Fibonacci sequence.
Hey babe, that song is based off a Fibonacci sequence.
Understand.
Girl at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. A certain IQ of at least 145. Very complex.
But yes, that's
I'm with you. I'm with you on like the fan stuff. Like, especially some ASMR over here. Thank you, Alex. Like
I will mute your channel.
yeah, like, especially the like when Mangini, when Portnoy left and Mangini joined. I swear. Okay, I'm not on Facebook that much, but like I still, if you go on Facebook and onto like any Dream Theater related posts, you will still find whatever 55-year-old dudes that are complaining about like I wish Portnoy was back. And it's like, dude, it's been like
They won't accept Mangini's
10
better.
years, like probably longer, maybe 15 at this point. It's like Mangini, different discussion. He's like he fits, like he makes sense for Dream Theater. It's like I don't know, like. Find a hobby or something. Like, I mean, it's like seriously, it's like, why is this occupying so much space in your head?
There's only so many variations of triplets out there.
I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, yeah.
Mike
wait
Portnoy.
until they get to the sex couplets.
But no, I'm with you. So yeah, it's just interesting to hear different perspectives.
Can that be our clickbait? Dream Theater sucks.
Yeah.
Labrie did what?
Yeah. You have to do our faces. Well, yeah. But,
Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll get you guys. What is it, a little photo shot?
Thumbnail
Yeah,
faces,
little thumbnail.
yeah.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
I just want to say we've been talking trash about Dream Theater, Polyphia. Who
Sleep
else?
Token.
Oh my
Sleep
gosh,
Token.
no.
If these bands need openers, like Modern Fuzz.
Please.
Yeah.
Like we're talking smack, but like
Oh my
also
God.
if we see you in person,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so talented.
No,
I think you're saying
all these bands.
Hands on sight.
Oh my god. No, for all those bands, they are so talented. But again, it's that like everyone has their personal. No, everyone has like their personal interest and taste, which goes back to that like that abstract art thing. It's like, you know, everyone has a different experience with it. Some might like it, some might not like it, and everyone in between has their own reasons for it. So
Also another hot take for me is like when people say this band is better than the other. I hate those type of like
nah,
like
it's not a competition,
opinion
bro.
thing. Yeah, it's really not a
Rankings,
competition.
yeah.
It's like based
Yeah.
on what scale?
Yeah, like
your
especially
own brain, basically.
yeah. Or like
Yeah.
when deathcore fans are like guilty of it. Oh, this has the sickest breakdown ever. Sons of the Swarm. Oh, you ingested. Oh my god. And I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, let them fucking be. Like,
Deathcore
yes,
fans
they're
when
different.
lifecore fans come by. Oh my god!
Devin Townsend rolls
You
in.
just listen to. I'm guilty of it too. When I was younger, I was like, listen to this breakdown, and it was like,
Oh yeah.
but then like now it's just like I find that shit like cringe, and it's also like people like maybe my age, like saying this band is better than the other, and I'm just like listen to it, it's like okay, you dumb motherfucker, whatever.
Yeah,
I have a lot of hot takes, and I'm cool with it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
We could have a follow-up episode that's just hot takes.
Yeah, oh, I would love that.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Well,
Do y'all have any one more hot take before?
yeah. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Actual shout-outs or plugs?
Yeah,
Since
go.
you mentioned it,
Yeah.
we already mentioned it, but Kenny Eaton at Mystery Ton Studios, he's out in Monrovia, Maryland. He's done our first 2 albums, and we're planning to go back to him for album 3.
Watch out, buddy. We're coming back.
Watch out, Kenny, we're coming. Great guy, like really, really cares about his craft. Very professional, like he knows what he's doing. He made us sound great, in my opinion. But he's also like just a really chill guy. He's great to collaborate with.
Yeah.
Right on.
And no,
I was gonna say, yeah, not to extend it, sorry, but like a lot of our songwriting and like the way that we've grown as musicians has come through him. Honestly,
awesome.
just like, and he's not so pushing to like, oh, you definitely got to do it this way. Like he'll recommend things and just like it just sounds better, you know, when he's like, hey, instead of like this note or that note, like what if you did this instead? And it's just, dude's the man. So
he's a great collaborator.
Shout out.
Shout out to Kenny.
Anyone else? I mean, we could sit here and like shout out local bands forever. That might get a little
true. Science Penguin for letting us
Yeah.
do tour with
shout
them
out
and
Science
being
Penguin.
very awesome friends of ours.
Friends of the pod.
Friends
Yes.
of the pod.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Science Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
The new bass player really
Sick.
really
Oh,
adds.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric Goaded,
Yeah. Fellow Eric bass player.
fellow Eric bass player.
Yeah.
They
He
are
also
as-
has 5 strings.
That's true.
Yeah.
Does he do 6?
I think he has 5.
He does 5.
Okay. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We saw them live not too long ago, and then I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, they opened at a show at Autobar with Coletta, Dwellings, and Body Thief.
That was like last
Yeah.
week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They requested me. I've started doing concert videography, recording sets.
Oh, wow.
Which I was going to say after the recording. Maybe I'll just cut this out. Eventually, you all are on my list of. I want to get to a set of your alls at some point.
Yes.
So you did that video work that they
Yeah.
posted. That turned out very good.
Yeah,
that
thank
would be
you.
sweet. That
Yeah,
would be
it's a
sweet.
recent. It's something I always wanted to get into. Actually, pre-pandemic, I bought that camera and or actually, no. I'm sorry. I recorded a show at the Undercroft with Taylor Polynomial, and I can't remember if it was that show you all mentioned earlier or a different one, but I recorded it and I was like, I love this. I want to do this, and then I bought the new camera, and then the pandemic happened, so I'm just now getting back into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, we love that. Well, yeah, very cool.
I noticed on your first artist profile, I can't remember his name for the
Cliff.
life of me. Cliff.
Yeah.
Reeves.
He does more like vocal driven stuff.
Yeah, and he's solo also.
Right.
Yeah.
I was checking out his stuff today. Do you do vocals or anything? Or are you just like
I do nothing. I'm video and video editing.
it doesn't look like you
Did
do
you
nothing,
do
but-
his video for Party Like It's Halloween by chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or-
like
oh,
that
I'm
video.
sorry. No, I didn't do that. Oh,
Oh.
sorry. Yeah. No, he.
Then it's
he-
trash.
No,
No.
all his videos he.
No, it was
has done
great.
himself.
if Brent didn't do it, it's not. It's
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
No, I meant no, I don't play
Shout out, Cliff.
anything. I'm not a musician. I just do video and video editing.
Nice.
I tried 2 songs with like MIDI instruments and they're like cringe trash. But I kept them on my YouTube channel. So if you want to do digging, you'll find it.
Hell yeah.
We will.
Oh, we
Are they
did.
on Spotify?
No, just YouTube.
You should put them on Spotify so we can put them on our
Yeah,
practice playlist.
yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. yes.
God.
The list.
You're just like, man, this sounds like
Garbage.
Marvel. What is this, Brent?
But if it was garbage, it would fit on the playlist. Like that's the whole point.
Garbage? You mean my lore?
My dinner.
Boy dinner.
Well, lads,
Well,
Yeah.
this has been super fun.
Yeah.
We'll
Thank
wrap it up
you.
here.
Thank you for tuning in to Soundcheck. This has been Walter.
This is Brent.
This has been Levi Beverly.
It's been Eric. Thanks for having us.
Hey
This has
guys,
been Levi
Alex.
Beverly.
Welcome to the
With Modern
Soundcheck
Fuzz.
podcast.
We're ending it.
I am what?
This is Levi
Dude,
with
we're just
Modern
starting.
Fuzz.
This is all just a warm up. Yeah.
And I was Alex. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Yeah, thank
See
you
ya.
for tuning in. Until next time. Drop the mic.
I love John Petrucci.
Get out of my house.